So the next one we want to talk about, it does jump up quite significantly, but we want to talk about the Spin 5, which is I've always thought of this as a premium device, but it's now fitting into that mainstream category more and more, which is again a fantastic thing because this is traditionally classed as a premium laptop, and I still think the build and what comes with it really is premium.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite form factor again, Lisa.
Okay.
Does it live up
to the 60-degree hinge, right? That's what you love so much about it.
I love those 360-degree hinges. I think everyone should get 360-degree hinges. But does it stand up to the pretty test?
Yeah, it does. Let's. Yeah, it does.
I was gonna be like, it does it not? No, I think this is another one that looks pretty good.
It does. Yeah, and it also again ticks a few of my boxes as well. So pretty being the top one. This device weighs in at just 1.2 kilos. So again, pretty light when you think about it, putting it into backpacks and handbags and stuff like that. And it's just 14.9 millimeters thin as well. So when I'm looking for a device, those are the top things because I don't want big chunky devices. So they're, the three main things that I look at, but pretty being the first one, Fletch. We've got to make sure it's pretty.
That's good, and again, we still want to hear from you guys about what you think of Acer, the Spin range.
Yeah, let us
what's
know.
your go-to computers at the moment on the shop floor? What do you feel comfortable going to for a wide variety of customers? We want to know. I think the Spin 5 really does fit into that category, and I did a lot of reading up on this device in particular, leading up into this stream, Lisa. And this was made in conjunction with something we talked about when we went through Lenovo devices called Project Athena, which is a Intel-run program, which is pretty much the same as our modern device program. We're kind of spearheading from two different angles. But what that means is this is a device with all-day battery life. It meets those thin and light requirements that you have, Lisa, which are really important. But things like the screen needs to take up, I think, at least 80% of the real estate so that it doesn't have super big bezels. This device is particularly cool in that, in the screen, because it's just like Surface devices, Lisa. It comes in 3:2 aspect ratio. It's
awesome.
actually a 13.5-inch screen, and I know your favorite device, Lisa, is a Surface laptop, isn't it? So
it is. It is. I have the 15-inch. I must admit, I love the 15-inch. But one of the things that I love about the Spin 5 as well is it's essentially like a sheet of like A4 paper. Like it's, and with that 360-degree hinge, you can turn it over, and again, it's got the active pen included. So it charges in the device, and you can essentially flip it over and use it as a notebook. For anyone that knows me, I'm big on paper and pen. I'm a bit old school when it comes to that. So I always have a notebook and a pen with me. But with this device, I can essentially get rid of that, and I've got my device, I've got the notepad and the pen. I can flip the keyboard around and I can write on it like I would be with a notebook. For me, when I'm on the go at sporting events, this would be perfect. Yeah.
And like you say, the screen real estate really stands out when you're using that pen with this machine. And that pen docks in, Lisa.
And it charges.
It charges while it's docked. And one of the coolest things that blew my mind on this device is when you run out of battery with that pen, it's got such a good charging speed that after about 15 to 20 seconds of being docked, it'll have 90 minutes worth of charge in that stylus. That's awesome. That's cool. That is very cool.
That would save my life.
Even though the pen isn't as probably, I would say, doesn't fit your hand quite like a Surface Pen would. It's actually got 4,096 points of pressure. So it's about the size of a normal ballpoint pen, and it's got that same pressure sensitivity as a Surface Pen, which is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, and from, the pen feels good, even though you're writing on that Gorilla Glass display. So there's enough friction in there that it doesn't feel like you're writing on glass. And the movement is still fluid as well, which is something that, of course, is important if you're going to be using that pen.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other great things that I particularly love on this is your ports, again, are pretty impressive. Even though this device is even thinner than the Spin 1, it still has that HDMI port on it again, and you still have your USB 3.1 and your Type-C, as well as a micro SD reader. So you've got a lot of ports built into the machine to back up whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah, 100%.
It's also, because it was part of that Project Athena, because this is a device that might not even have hit your stores yet. These devices we're talking about today are very new / on their way. It's got 11th gen Intel processors, which is great. It means there's a big performance jump. It means you've got a lot of really intelligent AI built into the machine, so it'll learn how you're using it to extend your battery life and give you performance where you need it. But it's also got this new internal GPU, this integrated GPU called Intel Iris X. So GPUs are your graphics processing units. They're the things that help to run things while you're on Photoshop, when you're doing a little bit of gaming. And these Iris X cards, I can't wait to get my hands on one, Lisa, because they're meant to really bridge a gap between a dedicated GPU and an integrated one, so that in these amazing form factors like the Spin 5, you can actually play AAA games or great games that most people want to play, not at the highest frame rates per second, of course. That would be too much to chew off. It's not going to be as smooth as a dedicated gaming device, but that fits into what you're saying about using the device the way you want to. And not everyone wants that big gaming laptop, right? Not everyone is a hardcore gamer, but they still want to game on their premium looking and feeling machine. Yeah,
100%. It's all about, devices are all about how you want to use them. And that's maybe the fourth thing that I would look at when buying a device.
Yeah, I like it. So there are new things though, even though we've talked about Acer being quite often like a very value-orientated brand, which nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with keeping prices honest while making sure the device just does what you want it to do. All those core things that are important. But
100%.
They are introducing some really cool things onto this device. And one of those features that they've introduced, and it's going to be on the next device we talk about too, is it's got Gorilla Glass, which is fantastic, but the actual device itself and the screen have like an antimicrobial solution coating it. Yep. So it just means that when bacteria and stuff does get on this device, which is going to happen when people are using their fingers on it all the time, it's not going to, grow. It's not going to stay there the same as it would on a device that doesn't necessarily have the surface. So I thought, Lisa, we might play a little video because I'm not smart enough to talk about all the specs and stuff that back up this claim. But, playing a video, I think will help everyone understand.
Let's do it.
Boom.
Boom. That is awesome.
There we go. So pretty cool. Pretty good for them to be thinking about stuff like that as we kind of hit a new day and age where people are more conscious than they've ever been.
Yeah.
Especially when you work with dirty people like me, right, Lise?
No, I would never say that. Never say that. Not to your face.
Yeah, we'll wait for behind closed doors on that one.
Exactly. But Fletch, I think one important thing that we haven't covered yet on this one is this device does have a fingerprint reader. So Windows Hello, I love Hello because I can never remember what I set my passwords as. I'm big on internet security, PC security. So I'm always trying to think outside the boxes with my passwords. They're that outside of the box that I never remember them. So with the fingerprint reader, it's awesome. Windows Hello would not work for me today because I've got these beautiful glasses on. But with the fingerprint reader, it's right there on the keyboard. It is super easy, super quick. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. I totally agree. I can't believe I nearly, just totally forgot about it. This is why you're here. Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, you gotta keep me honest. So
yeah.